I have a headache. I have a headache. I have a headache. I have a headache. It's about to become a major migraine. In the U.S., if you are in the USA, Costa Rica, and Panama, and there is an emergency, 911 is the phone number dialed, and you want to call the crazily conditioned cops to reach the police in case of an emergency. You will dial the phone number 911. 9/11 was the date in Costa Rica and Panama that the Twin Towers were destroyed in New York. It's the same number. Explosives had been placed in the buildings the night before, 911, to create an organized demolition. September 11th, after creating a fire in Germany and then blaming fake terrorists, in Spanish, Hitler enacted the Enabling Act. Is 11 de septiembre, robbing many rights of the German people. It's reversed. Shortly after the attacks of September 11th, the emergency phone number is not the only conspiracy connecting the three countries. Ex-President George Bush passed the Patriot Act. The flags of the United States, Costa Rica, and Panama, and now Obama is creating laws allowing the U.S. government each contain the colors red, white, and blue, the right to confiscate liberty, lives, and laptops, along with Britain, Australia, and France, without rhyme or reason. Canada displays only red and white. The children of Germany saying that Hitler is going to change the world, while the most of the rest of Central America white and blue, and that Hitler is our savior. Spain's flag has the colors red and yellow. Children in the U.S. are now singing the same song to Obama, and when you mix the yellow with blue, but in English, you get the red, white, and green of Italy and Mexico. The United States of America, on the flag and the peso of Mexico, is not the same country as the United States of Mexico. There is an eagle with a snake in its mouth, but the two are states that have been united. The money of Panama also has an eagle, and both are located in North America, but in its mouth is a piece of paper stating they are working to create the Pro Mundi Beneficio, the North American Union, NAU. For the benefit of the world, they are going to eliminate poverty, including Canada, the USA, and Mexico, by eliminating the poor. In the year 2005, as a result of quickly rising taxes and economical reform, the Security and Prosperity Partnership, SPP, about 90% of the population of the world, a trade agreement between the three countries, was declared going to die of hunger, but was not announced to the public. When I discovered the information regarding the depopulation, the North American Free Trade Agreement, I was enraged. NAFTA, I decided that I was going to help the peoples of the world, was established 11 years earlier in 1994 to fight and survive. These agreements were each steps taken towards the creation, but then I re-entered Central America of the North American Union and witnessed the overpopulation of cities such as San Pedro Sula, Tegucigalpa, and Managua. I now understand the depopulation, and thank God it is going to happen. Obama has denied knowledge of the NAU. Speaking of Honduras and Nicaragua, while publicly meeting in private, there are pyramids on the monies of both countries with the leaders of the other two countries. The U.S. $1 bill is also printed with a pyramid. His administration is also reported supporter of the Venus Project, but the top section is a triangle with an eye. Zeitgeist is backed by the Venus Project. Below the pyramid are the words Novus Ordo Seclorum. Zeitgeist is German for the spirit of the time, which means in Latin secular new order, and it is also the name of a movie released in 2007 solely via the internet. On the same side of the dollar there is an eagle, and like the eagle of Panama, the film contained information explaining that the attacks of 9/11 in its mouth is a piece of paper was an inside job. This piece of paper states ad pluribus unum, leading to the New World Order. This is Latin for from many to one. Now, years later, from many monies to a one world money. If you watch the orientation video of the Zeitgeist movement, from many religions to a one world religion, a worldwide anti-government campaign, from many countries to a one world union, which is really a wolf in sheep's clothing, from many governments to a one world government. You will find that it is actually the final stages of a long and great plan, the new world of the New Testament, to create a socialistic one world government, a new social system of socialism. On September 11, 1990, they'll stop their war and get rid of their border once we have given them ex-President George H.W. Bush their new world order. Spoke before a joint session of Congress. P.S. Regarding the Persian Gulf War. The flag of Russia also has the colors red, white, and blue, among other topics. However, their eagle has two heads. He stated that the war presented an opportunity looking in both directions for a new world order to emerge. I think this has something to do with spy versus spy. This was the first time that a U.S. president, but believe it or not, this infamous eagle is actually a famous phoenix, had ever publicly used the three-word phrase, rising from the ashes of ignorance, shortly thereafter probably originating on September 23rd. As the ancient Egyptians Egyptian god Horus, 1994. Their flag also has an image of the bird. In Latin, the language of Rome, David Rockefeller spoke at a UN ambassador's dinner. The word Roma and made the statement, when written in reverse, all we need is the right major crisis, is amor, and the nations will accept, which is English for love, the New World Order, which spelled backwards, but these were definitely not the first times that the phrase had been used. Is evil. I could recite numerous examples. Rome was once a great empire, but here's one. But through a series of revolutions, during World War II, Adolf Hitler made this statement: Rome was divided into several great empires. National Socialism will use its own revolution, including Spain, Italy, and France, for establishing of a new world order. As I write these words, my books already include, now get this, Spanish, Italian, and French. The money utilized. These revolutions occurring over 1,500 years ago by the German Nazis were often initiated by the government of Rome, was minted and printed after these various countries were created with a small swastika, various changes in the Latin language encircled by a wreath, cultivated over time, and held by the great American eagle. This was so that the people living within the various countries / Roman eagle would be unable to communicate with the people living in the countries next door / Egyptian people, as English was formed on an island completely separate from the rest of Rome. And now, while ensuring that the public could not communicate, 2,000 years later, people were taught, 2012 AD to be precise, the religion of Rome, by funding the foundation, using the Bible of Rome, their own crafty creation, to spread to all corners of the world, zeitgeist, to fill the world with babies in the religion of Rome. Our planet's powerful partners, now including all of the Americas, the world's wicked watchers, over half of the world speaks some form of Latin. Your basic big brother, the language of Rome, is initiating a worldwide, and most are Catholics, revolution, or some sort of Christian, converging every world leader. The Bible also teaches that evil, every religion, and every sin. Rome is the opposite of love into one world religion, which is the opposite of evil, a one world money system, therefore, and a socialistic one world government. Rome equals evil. They are finally creating England's new world order. That Rome will someday create an all-powerful, extremely oppressive, world-dominating government, El Nuevo Orden Mundial de España, to be completed somewhere around the time of the last days. El Nuovo Ordine Mondiale de Italia. The book even has a line that says we are now in the last days. El Nuovo Ordine Mondiale de France. So apparently we've been living in the last days for around, Rome is finally putting together 2,000 years. It's Novus Ordo Seclorum. When you get a chance, check out the US $1 bill, just below the pyramid with the eye. Or better yet, click the one on my website, MajorMigraine.com.